Paul McVicker. I am the proud maker of the channel on YouTube of Country Boy at Heart / American Patriot. Today we are going to cover the First Amendment and your rights in thereof. As you guys might have seen, my past video was the Second Amendment and how gun control should not be a thing. Yes, we need to be safe with our guns, but we do not need to take your guns away. So today we're going to do the First Amendment and what your laws are and what you're restricted to and what you have the freedom to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to read through it. Then I'm going to pick apart the different pieces of it. And we're just going to figure out what your rights are and what are you covered in there. So let's read it. Congress shall make no laws respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That's right there in the First Amendment, Bill of Rights. So you guys can look that up. So that's exactly what it says, word by word. So the first part we're going to take is Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion. This means that whether you're Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, Catholic, Muslim, it doesn't matter what you are. The government has no right to make laws against that religion. You have the right, every right, to practice that religion, as long as you're not starting violence. Now, there is one phrase that a lot of people in society likes to use on people in schools and in government places. They like to use the phrase, and just to point out, this phrase is never said in the Constitution or in the Bill of Rights. This phrase is separation of church and state. Now, a lot of people are going to say and act it off as it is an actual law, but it is not. It was actually a letter written from Thomas Jefferson to a Baptist church in Danbury in 1802. The Church of Danbury was worried that the government was going to get into their sermons and start regulating what they can and cannot preach. And they wanted to be reassured that that was never going to happen. So Thomas Jefferson sent a letter of separation of church and state, saying that the government cannot get in the way of the sermons of the church. Now, that was the original letter, but now people of the society wants to switch it around, saying that the church cannot get into government topics, cannot get into the schools, cannot get mixed up with the state. That's the exact opposite of what Thomas Jefferson was trying to point out. It was supposed to be the exact opposite way. The state could not get into the church was allowed into the state. Now, since we got that out of the way, you have every right to practice your religion in your schools, at work, at your homes, especially at your church. Nobody can get in the way of that. Now, that's your right. It says right there. First line. Now we're going to move on to the next line, which is, or the abridging the freedom of speech and of the press. Okay, so there's a lot of controversy on this one. A lot of people are getting offended, and it's getting pretty pathetic. Now, if I say, hey, I'm a man, you're a woman, people get offended because they call me sexist. Now, if we were all women, I guess we wouldn't have this problem, would we? But there is this controversy here, so I'm going to say it out right now. A lot of people are getting offended, and it's getting pretty pansy. You have the freedom of speech. I have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom of speech. If you start cussing me out, hey, you have an opinion? Go ahead and tell me. You have the right to say that in your right of speech. It says right there in the First Amendment. So, but not only do you get the right of speech, you have to realize that I have the right of speech also. As a U.S. citizen, we all get the right of speech. So you cannot say something nasty to some person, and then when they say something back, you can't go to court and sue them because you're offended. They have the right of their religion. They have their speech. You have the right of your religion, your speech. Now people keep taking this and saying, well, I have the First Amendment. I'm covered under that law. It's in the Bill of Rights. I have the right to my religion, to my free speech, to my petitioning. But then you want to let other people have their rights. You want to take their rights away. You want to take their right of religion away. You want to force your religion on them. You want to take your opinion and force it on them through speech. You want to take your petitioning and force it on other people. That's not how this works. You get yours, they get theirs. Now, if they want to side with you, hey, that's great. You guys have something in common. But if they don't, stop dissing people. It's getting irritating people. Stop getting offended also. You guys getting offended real easy is quite an insult to the forefathers who brought this country up, who made this nation. They were hardworking citizens. They were men who fought for this country. And you guys being offended, it's getting pretty pansy. So drop that. Just stop being a child. Stop being offended so easily. Be grown up. Be an adult now. Now that I've said that, that's through my freedom of speech. If you guys disagree, hey, comment below and we'll talk about this. Now, since we went through this freedom of speech, you have the right to see whatever you want. I have the right to have my opinion. We have the freedom of press. Now, whether you're at the independent newspaper or you're Fox News. Fox News was relatively the right side. Independent was more of the left side. But you have the right. You have the right to tell news as you see it. Same as Fox has the same news. Now, if I was to open a newspaper place, I was leaning towards the left, I had that right. If I was leaning to the right, I have that right also. It's covered right there in the freedom of the press. Now we got through that part. We're going to break it up to the last topic, and we're going to go on to the First Amendment. And it's, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Now, as you saw the pictures before, at the beginning of this video with the music, there's a lot of pictures of riots, a lot of pictures of cars in flames, a lot of people carrying torches, burning flags, burning Trump t-shirts. They'll say to you, it's covered in their First Amendment. It's not, because notice the word peaceably to assemble. Peaceably. With peace. Do you think that flipping cars is peacefully? I would say not. Do you think breaking windows is peacefully? I would say not. Would you say burning the American flag, which I'm being highly disrespectful in my opinion, is peacefully? Or burning Trump supporters' t-shirts? No, that's not peacefully. That's not covered in your First Amendment because the law says you have to be peacefully. Peaceably to assemble. That's what the Bill of Rights, the first Bill of Rights, says. First Amendment, very first one. It shows that you have the right to religion, speech, press, and to assemble peaceably. Now, no riots. If you compare the riots of Trump's inauguration, they were breaking things, they were blowing up cars, they were attacking police, they were breaking windows. That's the wrong way to go about it. You watch, we'll say, the Women's March for Life. They were all about Women's March for Life. I've been there. I'm a huge anti-abortionist. And what they were doing, they were trying to show love and support to all those women who had abortions and they regretted it, or those women that are thinking about abortions, but they just don't know where to stand yet. We're trying to help them and show love to them so they know that there's not only just one option of abortion, there is also choose life. So that child have a chance in life too. He could be the next Einstein. You never know. You're killing. We're not even going to get on this topic this video. We'll do a different video on abortion. But if you look at the difference between the riots and March of Life is all about peace, about love, about kindness, about showing compassion for those people. Riots are pretty much just one big hissy fit, whining that they did not get the president. Now, if you look at when Obama got in office, did the right conservatives throw a hissy fit through D.C.? Did we start destroying our own towns? Did we start breaking windows, flipping cars? No. Yeah, we were upset. We were really depressed that he got in office. But did we go break things? No. When Trump got in office, his inauguration, people rioted, the left rioted through the streets, being extremely violent to policemen, to cars, and to people's property. Those are all federal crimes. You can't now do that. They might say it's under the First Amendment, but they're wrong. Peaceably is the big outline. That's the key word right there for that part of the First Amendment. So, Yeah, that's pretty much it. So what we just covered is you got the right to religion, whether you're Christian, I don't know, atheist, Hinduism, Buddhist, Catholic, or Muslim. You have that right. And you also have the right to speak. If you have something to say, you have an opinion, go ahead, voice it out. I like to hear it. But if I have an opinion and go back with it, hey, it goes both ways. You have the freedom of the press. Hey, if you see some news that you don't really like, hey, that's not, it's their right to say that. And then you also have the right to peaceably assemble. So I hope you guys use this First Amendment and know all your rights here and now. And hey, I hope you guys use this responsibly, because the last thing we need is an uproar. So we're going to go to our next topic, which is, yeah, there are riots. There are a lot of things going on in this country right now. It's all twisted through politics, left and right, liberal and conservative, LGBT and straight. It's all crazy right now. And if you were asking my final thoughts on this, it's because we don't have God in our country. If you look at the courtrooms in the past 20 years, we've taken out God we trust out of our courtrooms. We've taken God out of the schools because of the separation of church and state. We have also, something I can't stress enough is the fact that our country, our nation, was based on a moral and Christian standpoint, where it was all about God. Yeah, not everybody believed in God. That's fine. But our nation was built on that foundation of moral and Christian standpoint. Now, if you guys want to disagree with me, you guys could look just at simple things like our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag under God. One nation under God. God Jehovah. Or you can go look at God we trust through our courtrooms that they have recently taken down. I do believe. Or if you want something as simple as something you see every day, just look at a quarter. Yeah, it's just a piece of shiny metal that we use as currency. It has a picture of George Washington's head on it. It might have a cool picture of a horse on the back. But if you look at what it really says, it says the United States of America, $quarter, liberty. But you know what the key phrase right there is? In God we trust. Written right there. Now, you might say that our country is falling away from that, saying it's not so much God and God we trust, it's more as we trust ourselves. And I think that's where we've fallen over the years. We've taken God out of the schoolrooms, we've taken God out of the courtroom, and that's where all of this evil is uprising. This is where all the chaos is coming from. Because without God, what do we got? So, like this phrase, God I trust. I hope you guys trust God. If you're a Christian, great. Faith is one of the greatest things you can ever have. Hope is one of the biggest things you guys can ever have. Now, I think that we should take God back into the classroom. That's my final thoughts on that one. Hey, if you guys like this video, push a thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys agree. And if you guys want more videos, just comment below. If you guys disagree, hey, comment below. If you want to debate this, we can talk about it. So yeah, I'm the proud maker of Country Boy at Heart / American Patriot. I hope you like this video. God bless.